What's happening, y'all? We're really cooking now. Who knew hell could be so seductively fun? These next 100 lines from 522 to 621 characterize the resurrection of demonic morale and the visual spectacle of the fallen host, shifting the focus from individual corruption to the collective martial grandeur of the infernal army. The section begins with the abashed spirits seeing their leader. Their downcast looks are quickly transformed by Satan's wanted pride. Milton characterizes this moment as a psychological rallying. The doubtful hue of their faces vanishes as they find comfort in their shared rebellion. This highlights a key demonic trait, the ability to find a perverse glory in shared destruction. The passage culminates in a detailed physical description of Satan himself. He stands like a tower, yet his face deep scars of thunder had entrenched. Milton uses the simile of a sun eclipsed or a lightning-scarred oak to characterize Satan's beauty as faded splendor. This is the quintessential image of the damaged sublime. He is still majestic, but his majesty is obscured and darkened, a visual testament to the cruel dismay he hides behind his defiant exterior. That's enough for now. Let's jump back into it together. Following the culmination of the demonic catalog, Milton, the narrator, says, "All these and more came flocking, but with looks downcast and damp, yet such wherein appeared obscure some glimpse of joy, to have found their chief not in despair, to have found themselves not lost in loss itself, which on his countenance cast like doubtful hue. But he his wonted pride soon recollecting, with high words that bore semblance of worth, not substance, gently raised their fainting courage, and dispelled their fears. Then straight commands that at the warlike sound of trumpets loud and clarions be upreared his mighty standard, that proud honor claimed Azazel as his right, a cherub tall, who forthwith from the glittering staff unfurled the imperial ensign, which full high advanced shone like a meteor streaming to the wind, with gems and golden luster rich emblazed, seraphic arms and trophies. All the while sonorous metal blowing martial sounds, at which the universal host upsent a shout that tore hell's concave, and beyond frighted the reign of chaos and old night. All in a moment through the gloom were seen 10,000 banners rise into the air with orient colors waving. With them rose a forest huge of spears, and thronging helms appeared, and serried shields in thick array of depth immeasurable. Anon they move in perfect phalanx to the Dorian mood of flutes and soft recorders, such as raise to height of noblest temper heroes old arming to battle, and instead of rage deliberate valor breathed, firm and unmoved with dread of death to flight or foul retreat, nor wanting power to mitigate and swage with solemn touches troubled thoughts, and chase anguish and doubt and fear and sorrow and pain from mortal or immortal minds. Thus they, breathing united force with fixed thought, moved on in silence to soft pipes that charmed their painful steps o'er the burnt soil, and now advanced in view they stand, a horrid front of dreadful length and dazzling arms, in guise of warriors old with ordered spear and shield, awaiting what command their mighty chief had to impose. He through the armed files darts his experienced eye, and soon traverse the whole battalion views, their order due, their visages and stature as of gods, their number last he sums, and now his heart distends with pride, and hardening in his strength glories. For never since created man met such embodied force as named with these could merit more than that small infantry warred on by cranes, though all the giant brood of Phlegra with the heroic race were joined that fought at Thebes and Ilium, on each side mixed with auxiliar gods, and what resounds in fable or romance of Uther's son, begirt with British and Armoric knights, and all who since, baptized or infidel, jousted in Aspermont or Montalban, Damasco or Morocco or Trebizond, or whom Bizerta sent from Afric shore, when Charlemagne with all his peerage fell by Fontarabia. Thus far these beyond compare of mortal prowess, yet observe their dread commander. He above the rest in shape and gesture proudly eminent, stood like a tower. His form had yet not lost all her original brightness, nor appeared less than archangel ruined, and the excess of glory obscured. As when the sun new risen looks through the horizontal misty air, shorn of his beams, or from behind the moon in dim eclipse disastrous twilight sheds on half the nations, and with fear of change perplexes monarchs. Darkened so, yet shone above them all the archangel, but his face deep scars of thunder had entrenched, and care sat on his faded cheek. But under brows of dauntless courage and considerate pride, waiting revenge, cruel his eye, but cast signs of remorse and passion to behold the fellows of his crime. The followers, rather, far other once beheld in bliss, condemned forever now to have their lot in pain, millions of spirits for his fault immersed of heaven, and from eternal splendors flung for his revolt, yet faithful how they stood, their glory withered. As when heaven's fire hath scathed the forest oaks, or mountain pines, with singed top their stately growth, though bare, stands on the blasted heath. He now prepared to speak, whereat their doubled ranks they bend from wing to wing, and half enclose him round with all his peers. Attention held them mute. Thrice he essayed, and thrice in spite of scorn, tears such as angels weep burst forth. At last words interwove with sighs found out their way. What the f? That's all for today. Until next time, ciao.